Assalamu alaikum. I'm Sadia Malik, Assistant Professor ICGF62. We are going to be doing second part of the APA formatting. This is in continuation with ELL 401, Research Methodology and Term Paper Writing. So in the previous video, we did till abstract writing. So today we are going to start with the table of contents. So when you are making a table of contents, there is something called automatic generation of table of contents in Word document. So you can use that. But if you are making a table of content yourself, so what you're going to do is that you are going to put a heading in the center which says content. You are going to have a running page number at the top. And then you are going to use level 1, 2, and 3 headings here. So if your main chapter is introduction, that is going to be starting right against the margin. Literature review is your main heading, methodology is your main heading, but within methodology, if you have a level 2 heading of sampling method, so that is going to be indented, and then procedure is going to be indented even further. So in the previous video, I told you how to give level 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 heading. So you can use the same here. The line spacing is going to be 2 double spacing, and the font and the size is going to be the same as you have been using in your text. Then we move to table format. Sometimes you need to put tables, especially in data analysis and then result and discussion chapter. You need to add tables to your paper. So there is a proper APA format even for table formatting as well. So you're going to put table number 1 here at the corner, right against the margin. That is going to be bold. And then the name of the title, or you can say the title of the table, is going to be in italics. For example, this is your table 1. And the table title is number of boys and girls by age group. So that is going to be italicized, but right against the margin. Now, you're not going to show the cells or the rows in the table. You're just going to make it disappear. And only the columns head are going to be mentioned. For example, grade, boys and girls. So the grades are going to be shown in this column, boys in this and girls in this. Only the column head and the total at the end is going to be shown. The rows and the columns in the middle, they are not going to be shown. And at the end, if you have taken it from somewhere or adapted it for somewhere, so you are going to put a note at the end, adapted from example book by J. Smith 2016, page 115, copyright 2016 by Scribner. So that is going to be there at the end. But if you have not taken it from anywhere, it is based on your own data analysis. So you're not going to put anything under the table. Now, sometimes you need to even put figures. For example, diagrams or graphs, etc. So they come under figures. So the figure formatting would be, again, the figure name is going to be right against the margin, bold, and then the figure title is going to be italicized. For exactly like the table formatting. And this is, of course, your figure. You are going to paste it here. You have to give a legend also if you're making graphs, for example, scatter graph or pie charts or bar graphs or line graph. So you need to tell what these stand for. So what is the dark gray column for and what is the light gray column for? So this is called the legend. So that is going to be there. You are going to show the axis also, what is on the y-axis, what is on the x-axis. And then at the end, you need to add a note also. Number of boys 30, number of girls 31. So total number is 61. So you need to put as much help around this figure as possible. So anybody who's reading this article would be very clear about what this figure is all about. Now, positioning of the table. You're not going to center it. So you're going to first mention the table or the figure in words. For example, when you are discussing it, you're going to say as shown in table 1. So you need to write this before you actually put the table in. And there's going to be a blank space after that. So between the text and the table, there are going to be line spacing. For example, when the table comes, there is going to be a line spacing before that, a blank line. And there's going to be a blank line after it also when you're starting a new paragraph. So it would stand out in the middle. So you can see here also, we have left a gap here. And we have left a gap here also, one line spacing here and one line spacing here. So again, the tables are going to be formatted like this. And when you are discussing the table, again, 0.5 indentation, and then table 1 shows. So you're going to discuss what the table is all about. Now coming to the in-text citation and references, this is what you use throughout the research paper. When you're writing the introduction, when you're writing literature review especially, you should know how to cite sources. So for example, if you have read an article by a very famous writer, or you are looking around and you're researching what has been done in the area of your research, so you'd come up with different articles which I talked about almost the same thing as you want to say. So you need to cite them. In research, you stand on the shoulders of the giants. So if big names have done research on a certain topic, you are going to cite them. So it adds credibility to whatever you are doing. So the basic of the in-text citation is that you need to include the author or the authors if there are two, the year of publication, the page or the paragraph number of your quote, and you use round brackets around it. And there are different types of it. So we are going to tell you what these types are. The most common one is called the central reporting. This is also called the author-centered type of reporting also. This is where the author comes first. So you will say Kohler 2016 noted the dangers of falsely balanced news coverage. So because you are starting with the author's name, the author last name is going to be mentioned. No other initials are going to be mentioned. Even if his name is Michael Kohler, you are not going to say Kohler full stop M, then 2016, just the last name in the in-text citation is used. And then within these small brackets, the year of publication of that article from where you are taking it, whether it's a book or an article or an online source, so whatever the year of publication is going to come here. So this is called central reporting, where your focus is on the author. The same thing can be written in a non-central way also, but here the citation is going to be a little different. For example, falsely balanced news coverage can distort the public perception of expert consensus on an issue. Kohler 2016. Here the whole thing is going to come in small brackets, the name of the researcher, comma, and the year of publication also. So this is what you do when you are using non-central reporting, where the name of the author comes at the end of the citation, and this is how you cite them when it is coming at the beginning. Now, what if you have more authors? For example, 2 people have written an article, or 3 people have written an article, or 4 people have written an article. So what can you do? So if one has written it, just the last name. If 2 have written it, again the last name, but and, you use and in the middle. John and Kim 2019 reported that. Okay. So we believe that John and Kim are the last names. Okay. So it can be Huxley and Fletcher. So Huxley and Fletcher both have to be the last names of these researchers. 2009 reported that. And if you're using it at the end, for example, in a non-central way, you're going to write John and this sign and then Kim. So if you're doing it in the central one, you're going to use the whole and, A-N-D. But if you're using it as a non-central, then you can use this sign. Okay. And what if there are more than 3 authors or 2 authors? So then what are you supposed to do? You can't just write a whole list of authors at the end. So there's something we call et al. So this is et al means the others. Okay. So this is what you write, that you write one name of the main writer, Jones, et al. Means Jones and others. They can be 3, they can be 4, they can be 5 people. If the people want to actually know, they're going to look at the references, and over there, the whole list is going to be given. Jones et al. 2019. This is how you're going to do at the beginning of a sentence. John et al. full stop 2019. And in a non-central way, John et al. full stop, comma, 2019 inside the bracket. This is how it is going to come at the end of your quote. This is how it comes at the beginning of your quote. Now coming to the last part, references. References are a very important part of your research paper. This shows that whether you have actually read these papers or not, or whether you have actually gone through these books or not. And this is also important because you need to show that you have taken things from here. So you need to actually honor the writers and you need to mention them in the references. So when you write the references, authors' last names are written and the initials are just put in letters. For example, M.H. Debney, Michael Halliday Debney, if it's the name, for example. So I'm not going to write Debney Michael Halliday. So I'm just going to say Debney, comma, M, full stop, H, full stop, comma. So when you are going to have a new author, you are going to put a comma before his name. Similarly, Dean B.C., Bernard Charles Dean. So I'm not going to write the whole name. I'm just going to take the last name, comma, B dot C dot, and then comma again, and Rogers T, Thomas Rogers. So I'm not going to write Rogers, comma, Thomas. I'm just going to write Rogers, comma, T, full stop. Then comes the year of publication. It can just be 2013, and it can be just 2013 March, if you know the details. Then the name of the title of the paper. So this is how it's going to be. First letter is going to be capitalized, not anything else is going to be. And if there's a colon, anything that comes after the colon is going to be capitalized. So two things here, the first word, and then the first word after the colon is capitalized, but the rest of the name of the title is in small letters. Then this is the name of the journal or the workshop or the seminar in which, or the conference in which it was presented. So if it is a journal name, again, it's going to be in italics. If it is the name of a proceeding in a conference, again, it's going to be in italics. In the proceeding of the 44th ACM Technical Symposium on Computer Science Education, page 62, 627 to 632, this is going to be there. And if you have a DOI, for example, a link, you're going to paste that at the end also. Okay. So here, the blue shows the title or the author's name. Green is the year of publication. Red is the title of the paper. Purple is the title of the conference. Yellow is the page numbers, if mentioned. And the gray is your DOI. Mostly we take information from the journal. So this is how you're going to show it in the journal. For example, you have taken this from the journal. So it's going to be Ruxton, comma, C, full stop, 2016. This is the name of your paper, starting from here to here. So this is going to be in straight font. Okay. And only T and H are going to be capitalized. Then the name of the journal is in italics. And the edition, the issue is, the volume is also in italics. These are the page numbers and this is the DOI. Okay. What if you have taken something from a book? So this is how you reference a book, that Fletcher DP 2018, Disruptors, Success Strategies for Women Who Break the Mold. So the name of the book is going to come in italics. The publisher is going to come in straight font. Okay. And then a book chapter, for example, you are not citing the whole thing, but you are only citing from a book, a certain book chapter. So this is how you're going to cite Parks CL 2013 full stop. This is the name of the chapter. Okay. Spirituality, meaning in cancer, survivorship. These are the editors. Okay. This is the book title in italics, page numbers, the location, publisher at the end. Okay. So this is how you cite a book chapter. What if you have taken something from a newspaper article? Again, the writer is going to come first, the last name first, and then the year and even the date of publication, because in newspaper it matters a lot which publication you have taken. The article title is going to be in a straight font, only the first thing capitalized. The name of the newspaper is going to be italicized. So whether it's a journal name or the book name or the newspaper name, that is going to be italicized. And you have to have the link also if you have taken it from online. Now, sometimes you take things from other people's theses. So they have published a thesis. It was their research thesis. So you take information from there. So this is how you're going to cite it. Mosaic E 2017, Team Flow, the missing piece of performance. So the name of the title of thesis is going to be in italics. And then in parentheses, you are going to show which level of thesis, whether it's an MPhil thesis or it's a doctoral, which means the PhD thesis, and the name of the university that is going to come in parentheses. Your Victoria University repository, this is where it is saved. So you need to give a URL also. What if you take something from a website? So again, Walker A 2019, November 14, because you need to mention the name, the date on which it was published. And then retrieve from, you're going to take, put the whole link here. Okay. So that has to be there. So this is how you're going to cite graphs. If you've taken it from somewhere, so you're going to mention at the end where the graphs have been taken from. Okay. If you have taken a figure from somewhere, you need to mention where you have it. So everything that you have taken from somewhere, you need to mention them and cite them. Thank you.